Good morning. Got your candle ready behind me. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Scorpio for the month of 2020, the month of April of 2023. Forgive me. So much going on this morning. If you are new to my channel, thank you for joining me. I hope that you find whatever it is that you need today. If you do not, there's plenty of other readers out there who might resonate better with you, but I hope you stick around for the message. If you are joining me again, thank you so much. Very happy to have you here, and let's get started. We're going to get started with some dice, and then I'm going to move into an overall theme card, astrology cards, and then tarot. Okay, a lot of people are having fives this month, which is not entirely surprising because it is an eclipse month, and we're starting a whole new eclipse cycle. But you guys have the 1 in 5. Who else had this? Somebody else had this. Can't remember who. Somebody had it. Anyway, 1 in 5s. There may be some conflict this month. This could be individual-based conflict. This could be the way that you are exercising something, or the way in which you were trying to work on something or build something. You could find conflict in that area. There might be multiple people in your environment that are bringing this conflict to the table, or you're just trying to work on a lot of things or work with other people, and you just might be finding some challenges that you need to overcome in that space. It does make sense because Pluto is squaring you right now, and it is your ruling sign or your ruling planet, so you could be feeling it. It feels like there's so much in your head. There's so much going on in your head. When I'm looking at one of these dice, I can see all of the other dots like floating around in the interior from the perspective that I'm like looking at them right now. I think you've got a lot going on. A lot in your mind, a lot going on around you. You could be very busy too this month, which might be a part of the challenge or the problem. Which, I mean, I don't think it's a problem, but it could cause problems there. It could cause just interruptions or issues. So let's get the astrology card started. Got Uranus. You've got the 8th house. Let's just see where your energy resides. We've got square. We have descendant, and we have 10th house. I think there's a lot going on. And I find it interesting because oftentimes squares or experiencing the number 5, because to me that is a square, or it's very similar energy to what a square represents. I really feel like these challenges are an invitation for you to like show up in some form of a leadership role, or for you to show up, whether that's in your own life in terms of like autonomy and the way that you operate, or it's in a physical space with other people. I think that this is about leadership, and I think it's about rulership, ownership, keywords there. But I feel like you're really stepping into something, and I don't think you can anticipate how it's going to unfold. I really don't, which I think is good, because I don't think that there needs to be any anticipation here. There could be an inner knowing, but I don't think it comes with anticipation. I think there's a bit of, and maybe that's part of what comes through with the square, is that the way that you internally feel, or this internal knowing that you have, and the way that things are showing up in your environment are a bit conflicting or causing friction. So just keep going, I think is what I want to say. This could have a lot to do with your career. It could have a lot to do with what you want to do. I really think that there's either a lot of people around you, or a lot of conversation, or a lot of communication, because you guys have a lot of cards coming out each time. So these are all in the reverse, but you have Transcendence, Mask, know thyself, and prism. So once again, I think that this square is going to reveal a lot of stuff to you and is an invitation to step into an aspect or part of yourself that you have not met yet or that you're not very familiar with, at least not in an outward sense. You may know that that person exists on the inside, but I feel like there's something that is happening to you that almost makes you, I don't want to say translucent, but more vibrant. Like I feel like there are all these facets of you that are coming into play, or even things that you could be discovering about yourself that are going to be an invitation for you to know yourself on a deeper level. And I think through doing that, and you guys have friction on the bottom of the deck. How funny. I think that whatever this friction is, or whatever this challenge is, or whatever this like thing is an active doorway for you. And I really do. I think it's inviting you to kind of expose yourself in a way that you haven't been before, in a good way. Like I think that this is so much about your identity, and it's so much about this like leadership, ownership, autonomy. Like all of these things I think are so important. So let's get into the tarot cards and see what's going on there. Yeah, the Emperor, leadership, ownership, autonomy, authority. Maybe that's how this eclipse this month is going to be active, like how it's going to be activating you. Boss. There's that 5. Okay, so we've got the 7 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. I think this is where, even though this is more Neptunian, I think this is where this Uranus energy comes in. I think it's where the mystery comes in. I think it's where you're not quite sure what lies ahead. This could also be where all the individuals are, or all the things that are happening around you. Like I was seeing in that one die. I think there's a lot in front of you, and I mean there could be a lot of opinions, there could be a lot of opportunities, there could just be a lot of stuff pulling on your energy emotionally. This also may be a creative space that you could be in, or a space in which you could be daydreaming more, or being open more to what it is that you can't see. Because I feel like there's a need to really trust and rely on your own authority and your own inner knowing at this time, especially with the Emperor and the 2 of Swords. I do think there's going to be a lot of decisions that you're going to be making, whatever this role is that you're stepping into, once again, whether that is ownership, entrepreneurship, autonomy, literally being a leader in some area or situation. I really do think that there's a lot of big decisions that are coming into play this month for you, or they're going to be activated this month with this eclipse. Well, next to that, we do have the Sun in reverse with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. I do think that maybe there are some investments, or there are some situations in which you have catered to, or maybe given your energy to, that you are reconsidering. And I think that whatever it is, it's the areas of your life that really don't allow you to, I don't want to say like show up in your full potential, but like shine to the fullest extent, which I find very interesting, because this is no shade, but I feel like Scorpio people are very magnetic in their own right. And it's usually because there is this mysterious, alluring quality to them, because you're not 100% sure what's going on with them most of the time. You can see that they're quite observant, and you can see that there's this part of them that it really holds back. But I think that's where this is like changing for you, where I don't think you're holding back as much. And I feel like this is where this energy comes in, where I think you're going to be way more like head on with people. I think you're going to be way more open in how you communicate. I don't think you're going to really be holding back as much or hiding as much in some way. And I think it starts with you kind of claiming these areas, or claiming these spaces where, it's time to kind of invite only the goodness that you would like to have in your life. I think this prior eclipse season, although I think it showed you many things that were beautiful, I think it did shower you with its own personal blessings. I do think it also was very painful for you, um, especially having the South Node in Scorpio. I think that there was a lot that was unearthed. I think there was a lot of emotional stuff you were moving through, even if it was just you experiencing things with your physical body. Um, I think it's interesting to me how physical injury or dealing with physical issues or health issues or any form of illness, whether it's temporary or long term, is often an invitation to understand ourselves in a way that we haven't before and actually like have a lot of stuff come up in the process. Because when you're sitting still or when you don't have time to do the things that you would love to do, or when you're in that challenging space, there's a lot that's revealed to you in that silence, or there's a lot that's revealed to you in that stillness. And I think that's part of what this was. And so now that your energy, I think, is coming up, all the way up, I think that you're really stepping into your body in a different way. I think you're really stepping into your energy and your power in a different way. And I just think that whatever this particular issue is, once again, maybe there were some poor investments that you made with that King of Pentacles up top and the Five of Wands at the bottom. Maybe there were some poor investments that you made, or maybe you were just feeling conflicted in what you should be investing in. Maybe you were feeling conflicted in spaces because there might have been some compromises that you made that you feel challenged your actual safety, or challenged your security in some way. This could also be just leaning on you being in negotiations with others where someone may be lowballing you in some way, whether literally or figuratively. And there could be some challenges coming up with this. I think there could be some arguments, or there could be some issues where you're not really seeing eye to eye on an issue, or you're not seeing eye to eye on what it is that needs to play out here. These also could be other people in your life that would love to have opinions on what it is that you're doing, where it is that you're going, or what it is that you want to do. But really, this is about you. Okay? Like, this is 100% about you. I think we can take people's opinions into account, especially people who know us well. But once again, if these are not people who are lifting you up in this moment, and these are not people who are celebrating your wins, I'm not saying that you only need positive people around you, because I do think we need people to check us sometimes. But only people that know who they're talking, or know what they're talking about, or who they're talking about. Somebody checking us isn't always abusive. Somebody checking us isn't always wrong. Somebody checking us is sometimes someone who cares about us, who sees something that we're doing and they're like, whoa, hold up. You might hurt yourself. Or whoa, hold up. Do you think having this perspective or viewpoint is healthy, or do you think it's going to help your situation? So sometimes it's nice when it comes to people that we really trust who can check us in that way. But I think, I also think that this could be you revisiting a situation, or you potentially having a conversation with somebody from the past, because you do have the Page of Swords here with the Lovers in reverse. I think whatever you have distanced or separated yourself from may be coming back into your life in some way, even if it's very touch and go, even if it's just interjecting in particular ways, or trying to open up lines of communication, or you hear that someone has been inquiring or asking about you, or you can tell that someone's kind of keeping an eye on you in some way. I think that whatever this is, it has to do with maybe a path that you removed yourself from, or maybe a direction that, or a moment where there was a fork in the road where you went in a different direction, or vice versa, depending on how this makes sense or fits for you. I also think this is a very I told you so moment that just like hit me in the face. So maybe there's someone you're dealing with that feels like they just got smacked in the face, and it feels like you want to look at them and be like, told you. Why didn't you listen? Which could be part of that like leadership role, or it could be part of that taking ownership or autonomy is one of those things where you're really feeling so much more confident in your ability to call it like you see it these days, or you've been actively stepping into that role more, and someone might have, done something to put them in not such a great position, and you may be in the position to be like, I told you so. So this could also be checking someone as well. But I think you're revising a lot of stuff. I think that you are reflecting on the past in a different way and how it shaped the person you are today. I think that you're using that to counteract this energy of the Seven of Cups, because I feel like you're having to look at the past in order to understand where it is that you're going to be headed. And I think it's going to help you see through this very like foggy landscape right now, or this very like confusing landscape right now, because it almost feels like I can hear so many different voices in my head having conversations when I'm looking at this card. Like that's how it feels, like being in a crowded room where you can hear all these people talking and you're just like trying to find that one still voice where you're like, yes, like the silence, and just being like, yes, or no, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I think this is the month where something incredible happens, if I'm going to be honest. It feels incredible to me. I mean, it could be confusing and it could be challenging, but I find so much joy in what this challenge holds for you, because I really think it is like leveling you up or helping you blossom in such a way that you didn't anticipate and that you couldn't. But I think you're going to be seeing how, and I think you're really going to be understanding how. And if you do feel pressurized in this space, or you do feel like you're under someone's thumb, know that that's not true. And kind of like remember who the fuck you are in this moment. Know yourself. Trust yourself. That's the biggest part for me. Trust yourself. It's going to be very important, because I think the more that you understand that you can trust yourself in making these decisions, I think you're going to see that every step of the way, you know yourself and you know what's best for you. And I think the way that it unfolds in your life is going to be quite miraculous. So hopefully this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this. If it wasn't for you, it wasn't for you, and I hope you find what you're looking for. But for those of you who this resonated with, I hope you have a lovely month, and I'll see you guys next time.